Okay, we're live on YouTube. Couple minutes late. I was having some troubles on the back end. I realized my latency was way too low. I had it turned up to way too high. I had it turned down to low latency.
Way too high. I had it turned down to
Uh-oh.
low latency.
Now I'm hearing myself. Hold on. More technical problems. I was just telling everybody to make sure you mute your tab, and I had my tab muted, but when I clicked on it, I accidentally unmuted the tab. Technology, folks. It's absolutely crazy, crazy stuff. So, got a great show for you today. Let me tell you who's here with me. So, we've got the fabulous Deborah Zachow from Grow Your Light. Yeah,
Oh,
go over to her YouTube channel, youtube.com/@ Grow Your Light, and
thank
subscribe to the channel. I have the URL. Let me grab the URL, and I'm going to copy and paste that into the chat for everybody here so
amazing.
they can all go over there and check out Deborah's channel. I also have certified tarot grandmaster Pamela Steele, the fabulous artist, deck creator, author. Hi, Pam.
I think
Yay. Host Ellie Moonchild is in the chat. Hey, Ellie. If you can join us up on camera, go ahead and do it. If you can't, chat with us in the chat. Dr. Rose, one of our other hosts, is supposed to join us in the chat. In fact, the topic today is her topic. And I told her you have to be on the show, but she couldn't make it. Anyway, but it's a fun thing. It's like just one day we were talking about topic ideas and things, and Dr. Rose goes, here's a topic idea. I'm wondering, has a tarot reading ever been wrong? And I'm like, hey, that's a good idea. Yeah. We've got SR Kish. We've got Water Lily, Green Earth Creations. That's Jimmy. Hi, Jimmy. We've got Maria in the chat there. Yes. Michelle's in the chat. Hi, Michelle. Welcome in there. This is gonna be fun.
Maria, what time is it where you are? Aren't you in France?
Yeah, Maria's in well, no, I don't think it is it France?
I can't remember now.
I,
Oh my
I know
goodness.
she's in Europe, but I'm just trying to
Yeah.
remember. Netherlands. Netherlands?
Nevertheless, I can't remember. We'll just have to ask her. She's right
She'll
here.
let us know in the chat where she's from,
I
where
don't
she's
know
from.
why I forget.
I know. I know. Hey, before we get started though, real quick, let me do my card of the day, which today I drew the star card, one of my favorite cards, one of everybody's favorite cards. So the star card in tarot signifies hope, faith, and healing. It suggests a period of optimism, spiritual connection, and a sense of renewal after a challenging time. It encourages you to trust your intuition, believe in your dreams. That's my favorite one, and find inspiration in the universe. Overall, the star card is a powerful reminder that even after darkness, there's always hope, healing, and the potential for a brighter future. And boy, do we need that message right now with what's going on in the United States and the world. Do we all still have hope? I still have hope. I'm a very optimistic person there. So let us know in the chat if you resonate. Yeah, resonate. I'm using the wrong word there. Help me out, guys. Uh, vibrate. What was it? Resonate, not resonate, but my mind's
If you resonate with it, if you
res
feel it, if
resonate. Is that right? Feel it? Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
or if you're going to
I thought I was
die.
using the wrong word. See,
No,
this is the thing about getting old because
you're
you
not
have
even old.
you have senior moments where you can't remember a word, but they don't tell you about the other senior moments where you're using the right word and you think it's wrong. It's the opposite. We have those too. We have. How are you doing, Michelle? By the way, Michelle woke up late and she wasn't feeling very well, so that's why she's not up on camera here. Jesse came in. Hi, Jesse. Um, so let us know if everything's okay, Michelle, in the chat. We would love to know how everything's going and all like that. If you have a specific question, go ahead and put it in the chat. And if you don't have a specific question, you
Your
can ask
general.
for a message from the universe. And we might have time to take questions after our topic today. Deborah, you had some. Go
I have
ahead.
a question. I have a statement. When I do my shows, I ask everyone to type all in capital letters so I don't have to use my glasses as much. So nobody's screaming. Water Lily is not yelling at anybody.
Hmm.
She's being kind to my eyes, our eyes.
I completely understand that, and it's okay. Uh,
Okay, good.
People have done that in the chat.
Yeah,
What we always told people to do, and I'm going to pop it in the chat here. Well, I don't know because Grammarly is trying to like take over my freaking chat here. So let me see if I can turn Grammarly off completely. Quick Grammarly, thank you. Now I can bring up my emojis, and we always have people do this one. It's the palm and it's pink. And that way we know what follows is a question. But if
oh,
you guys want to do all caps, then we can read it better. Do both. Do the hand in all caps.
yeah.
It's just an idea, folks. Do it any way you want. We'll be able to figure it out. A little later in the show, though, we're going to talk about our topic now. Has a tarot reading ever been wrong? So when she first, Dr. Rose, and she's not in here yet.
She
God,
isn't.
I wish she was in here so I could ask her what she meant by has a tarot reading ever been wrong? Like, does she mean the reader gives a prediction and the prediction doesn't come true? That kind of wrong? Or some other aspect of it? Because it could mean a few different things. Oh, Water Lily says, love that idea. Yeah, by the way, there's a huge delay.
Okay.
And that's so they hear us, they're going to hear us in about 8 seconds or 10 seconds. And then that's why the replies to what we said we've already said that a long time ago. Anyway, um, getting back to the question at hand here, because this goes into the whole thing of like the nature of a tarot reading. Can you predict the future? I always have told my students that the tarot is never wrong. So that would be an answer to her question. The tarot is never wrong. So but a reading can be wrong because it can be interpreted wrong. But the other thing it goes into is, how a lot of psychics is like, I'm 98% accurate.
I say that because I am.
And,
Now go ahead. Let's have a talk.
let's discuss that. I've always thought that was kind of like
Go ahead.
a whole silly thing. The whole thing is silly because I'm sitting down with a client and I do a reading, and I see, and I always tell my clients, I always tell everybody, it's like I can only read in the now. There's only ever the now. There's no past, there's no future, there's only the now. So when I'm reading and getting an outcome in the future, that is all the decisions you made coming into the now,
Perfect.
all these decisions, and you're on a certain trajectory. And if you stay on that trajectory, here's the potential outcome out in the future. I give them that potential outcome, but the whole purpose of my reading, because I read as a life coach. And so as a coach, my whole thing is to empower you and allow you to decide, do I want that outcome that Dax is talking about? Or do I want to make different decisions that lead me down a different path and I get a different outcome? So they decide that they make all these different decisions. They end up at a different outcome. Does that mean I was inaccurate? No. It means that they changed their trajectory. So my original outcome was accurate. It's just they decided to go in a different direction. That's why I don't think you can really, you can really know what your percentage of accuracy is. And, yeah,
Well, I didn't just make that up. What it is I'm on a hotline. I'm not at there now, but
mhm.
and so it would go through all of the oh boy, it would dissect every bit of information. And one of the nice things after doing 11,000 readings, I got an average. It's not something I just woke up and says, I think I'm 98% accurate. It's actually 96. But um, nonetheless, I was privy to that because of technology and the trajectory, what I chose to do as a profession. So I thought that was, I was very proud of that banner. So, but
That's awesome. Yeah.
I understand, I understand exactly, I agree with everything you say about that.
Hmm.
What I like to add is we forget how powerful we are. So if what I have done, because when I'm on a call, you don't see my hands or anything, but I'm always moving the cards. And
Hmm.
I ask for myself, where is this person now? She told me a story. Where is this person now? Does she really believe this story? Or I can also find out there's more to this story. Let's go a little, let's peel the onion a little more because that's not exactly it. And then once I get that down, when spirit says, okay, that's the issue, and then I can see the most probable future as life sinks in and out of favor because it's with not just your decision, it's other people's decisions we're not privy
Right.
to. So,
Yeah.
because we
And you
are
have no control
cooperative.
over their decisions, just yours.
Say that again.
You have no control over their decisions, just yours.
Which sets a new scenario in front of you. So then
Exactly.
new perspectives and with new perspectives come new
Hmm.
choices. New choices comes new realities. So, but this is valuable for me as an advisor is because I always throw at the end of a reading with the question, does she understand or does he understand my position or this reading? And sometimes it's no. It's all a convoluted thing. So I said, okay, Spirit is saying we haven't hammered the nail all the way in. So at no charge, we're going to continue this until we get to a true understanding
Cool.
of that. So that's how, but I love the way you said
Yeah.
that.
So, me personally, answering her question, I'm reading it right here. Has a tarot reading ever been wrong? Yeah.
Mm.
Hello. They've been wrong. There's been wrong interpretations. But when I'm talking in class, I always say the tarot's always right. You got to interpret it right, though. Pamela, what's your thoughts on this whole thing of has a reading ever been wrong?
Um,
And what is
perception,
and what does that mean?
I would say sometimes
Yeah.
the perception is wrong or memory. And that's a classic. Um, for instance, I did a reading for a woman, and this is, gosh, probably 20 years ago. And I said, and for some reason, I brought up an orange cat. And I said, this cat that follows you around, she blew up at me. I mean, I've never seen anybody get that mad that fast. In the blink of an eye, she was furious. I don't like effing cats. I don't have anything to do with them. You could never blah, blah, blah. And I went, okay. But I'm telling you, I see an orange cat. It's right there. And it was. And I mean, I couldn't not see what I'm seeing. And anyway, she finally got mad. And I said, fine, just, don't pay me. Okay. Just get out because you're starting to create a lot of conflict. And woman called me the next morning and in tears. And she was telling me about when she was a little girl, she had a big orange cat. And her dad tried to convince her it ran away. And she knew in the core of who she was, he'd kill that cat.
Oh,
And after that, I mean, she was devastated. So I don't like cats anymore. And I saw that, but the cat was still with her. That's what I was trying to get through to her. He never laughed. Okay. And I knew it was the tomcat. I knew too much about it. And she popped this by the store later that day. Oh, Rose is here. She popped by later that day and actually paid me double, which I thought was
oh,
pretty interesting. I
that's
mean,
sweet.
but that's just a for instance. I mean, she was so adamant about not having had a cat. And
Mm-hmm.
so this would have been like 35, 40 years ago that she was talking. So I mean, was I upset? No, not the least, but did I stick by what I could see
Oh
and what
yeah,
I
you
knew?
have to stick with
Yes.
what you got. Yeah.
Because I mean, that's what's important. I mean, if I don't have that belief in myself, how can anyone else believe?
Well, when I admire that a lot. And before I knew how to educate someone, a client, about how energy works and how strong they are, how
Uh-huh.
powerful they are to change their own life in an instant. There, I was a novice, not in reading tarot, but on the hotlines. And there was the lady that Kate called, and she was her husband divorced her. It was a horrible situation. She wants him back. Read for her several times. And there was this one night I read for her, and it looked like in my reading that her husband was having a melancholy, moment about the four corners of their relationship. They're divorced, everything, all that stuff. And she says, so he's coming back to me. I said, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that this is the energy. So this might be an option to send him a note to say hi or something like that. There's things that we change our life with the love of action. And what she did with that information is she left her house, went to his house, broke in, went to their bedroom that he was with his fiance, and shouted at him because she knew what she heard in my reading is that he's coming back to her. I never said that,
Oh.
but that's what she heard. And that's what Pamela was, I think, touching on about what is said and what is heard, what is desperate to be understood. So you have to be just very, very clear when you do a reading. And I just
Mhm.
applaud that. Both of you are really good advisors.
Yeah, and actually I love that term better than reader,
Oh,
because reading, and this goes to the nature of tarot, and how it actually works. See, as a hypnotherapist, I see how there's symbols on the card, and it's speaking to your subconscious mind. And through your subconscious mind, you can speak to your higher self and then the collective consciousness if you believe in that. But even
yeah.
if you don't believe in metaphysics, that's fine, because we have the reticular activating system, and we have our subconscious, and that's what the symbols are doing. Okay, and they're bringing things out. Your interpretation, you know, might be wrong, but
Mm.
so the reason why I love Advisor is because I'm working as a life coach, and it's not about telling them their future. It's about helping them to get to the future they want,
Mm-hmm.
which is a different thing. And so the reason why I shy away, yeah, I still use the term tarot reader, especially in correspondence and on the website and things like that, because that's what people remember. That's what people think of tarot reader, right? But I like tarot advisor or even tarot coach, but tarot advisor I really love. And I know on a lot of the lines, they call their, whether you're a psychic or a tarot reader or astrologer or numerologist, they call them all collectively advisors.
Yes.
I really like. But
Yeah.
let me get back to the tarot reader. It To me, that term harkens back to a time of it purely being about divination. And the way it would work is you would shuffle the deck, or you would hand the deck to the client and they would shuffle the deck. And on the show, we've gone through lots of reasons why we don't do that. But, and especially because most of the readings I'm doing is via Zoom. So I can't have them do that. You can get them involved, like, okay, tell me where to stop, cut the deck, that kind of thing. But you would give them the deck, or you would have the deck, you would shuffle, and you would spread the cards out or have them draw cards in one way or another. And those were their cards. And whatever spread you're doing, you would lay out their cards and you would read their cards, because it inferred a almost written in stone future, past, present, future, or however you were doing and tarot advisor I like better, because I'm not just putting cards down and reading. I mean, a lot of readers in the old days, fortune telling, type readers, they just read what they saw and they were done. I mean,
Yeah, that's a
there was
fortune
no
teller.
interaction with the client. The client didn't get to ask very many questions. There was no full conversation, pull more cards. The way I work is conversation, pull cards, conversation, pull cards. What's another question? What do you want to know about? Okay, I'm pulling cards constantly. Whereas in the old days, it was no, you lay out the Celtic cross and you're done. This is what I see. This is the influences from the past. Here's your foundation. Here's what your higher self is thinking. Other people. This is potential outcomes. This is your near future. This is your far future. Do you have any questions? And that was it, Whereas a tarot advisor is not, they're reading the cards, but they're not just reading
Well,
the client's cards.
but it's the modality, because an
Mhm.
advisor, there's a lot of things I do in numerology. You do too. You do a lot of different
A lot of
things.
numerology.
And so the thing is that I don't consider the cards theirs as much as my own, because there's 78 cards,
Mm-hmm.
78 ways spirit can talk to me. And I have a relationship with this card through all the other readings I have had. And when I've experienced the Ace of Swords going in and out of different ways, I have an understanding that's different. I mean, not book different. Ace of Swords is always going to be good news, new ideas, all of that stuff. But how it marries and shades into the next cards are going to
Mm-hmm.
be something that spirit knows I'll understand if they put the next card, right? And
Right.
so I like the idea of now the Celtic. I like the Celtic because it gives me an overall picture of a starting
Pamela
point.
does that. Pamela is the Celtic Cross Queen.
Love the Celtic Cross. I love Pamela. There's so much information.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that, don't do a Celtic Cross, and start
No,
off with that. I'm just saying that, for a lot of modern tarotists or tarot people, the days of tarot reading alone, and that's all you do with the client, a lot of people don't do that anymore. They're tarot advisors. They're putting in life coaching. They might do EFT with a client off the
just a
fly.
tool. Yeah.
Numerology, astrology. They might do some NLP with their client, and so forth. So there's a lot more to it than just reading the cards.
Yeah.
You know.
That's so true.
What about you, Pam? Any other thoughts on that?
I've got to
Uh,
check my door.
quite frankly, I was shuffling and I'm zoned out, so I kind of missed the whole thing.
That's okay.
But that's kind of normal. No, all I'm thinking about is it's a matter of perspective and perception, like it's a matter of truth and
Mm-hmm.
not so much. Okay, it's like reading for yourself. Don't try to read for yourself. That's going to get you nowhere. Okay. You might think it's a great idea, but it's not. And rewording the question a dozen times and asking again is really not going to be helpful at all. But instead of reading for who you are now, read for who you are becoming. And that's kind of what tarot does. It gives you the
Mm.
keys that you need to live your best life. So if you don't like what I'm saying, or you don't like what like what you're hearing in particular,
Yeah.
that's okay. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like it even a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But truth is just simply that. Actually, that was my card of the day, was truth. And it's not the truth that I learned when I was a little girl. It's not the truth that I was taught in school. It's not the truth that, I heard espoused in or expounded upon in any church gathering, or. It was the truth that right here in the core of who you are. And that essentially is kind of what I've been trying over the almost 5 decades to show people, is that this is paper and ink. This is not written in stone. You have choices, and it's about free will. That's what it's all about. Cards can't tell you what to do. They can tell you if you're going to hit a brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
But there again, and it's like Deborah said, she just knew, that woman knew that Deborah was telling her, oh, he's coming back to you. And I've seen that card come up in a reading. Well, is he going to come back? And the answer was quite frankly, no, because it was the Eight of Cups. And that was a very simple, you pull the Eight of Cups, sweetie. I'm sorry to tell you, but no. And she says, oh, no, 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 you're wrong. That shows him leaving her and coming back to me. And I
Oh,
thought,
interesting. Yes.
wow, like, you go,
True.
girl.
See, I
True.
knew stories about this,
Boom.
has the tarot reading ever been wrong, are going to lead to things like that.
And it's exactly what happened. And she came back about 3 months later and said, you're a terrible reader. You got everything wrong. And I said, why? He didn't come back. She says, well, no, he didn't. And the woman that ran the store happened to have overheard that part of the conversation. And she took her aside and she says, actually, she did tell you. You
Oh,
just didn't hear it.
good.
You weren't listening. In fact, when they're so busy thinking about what they're going to say next, they don't listen.
Yeah.
That's where you
Yes.
get in trouble, because I mean, it
In
spells it out.
general,
I mean,
people do that.
yeah, don't we
Yeah.
all?
We're all waiting for, okay, let Deborah talk so she'll end. And then, okay, it's my turn. And you weren't even paying attention to what Deborah was saying or
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
whoever you're talking to.
Well, I was shuffling,
No, no,
and
no. You were,
No,
but
I didn't mean you.
no, no,
I'm
not you,
talking
Pamela.
about in
no, but I
general.
do
Your
that.
client.
And it's a
If your
thick deck,
client.
so I have fun.
That is a big deck. What?
We
It's
love it.
88 cards instead of 78. That's the biggest
Yes.
difference.
It's right here, folks.
Oh,
The Steel Wizard Tarot, third edition, by the way. And it's got a magnetic enclosure. A
Nice.
fabulous book.
What?
Look at this book. There's the deck.
Is that Pam? Did you produce that, Pamela?
yes.
That's
That's
you
The first
Pamela's
two were
artwork and
self-published.
everything.
say that
Yeah,
again.
the first two were self-published. And then Schiffer picked it up, and that's what we came up with together.
Mhm.
It's
Nice.
hilarious. If you look at the first edition, um, you can see her boobies, okay? Because
Yeah.
they did, and what these people kept doing was covering them with a piece of a line that looked like a 2x4. And about the third time, I said, "Take that off of there." It finally clicked. They were saying, we don't want to see boobs," and I thought, well, geez,
Mm.
everything else. Anyway, dust settles, the air clears, and everything else.
That
So
is
I pulled it into Photoshop and took some of this out of the bottom,
Mhm.
and then wove it around and gave her
nice.
cover on her boobies, so everybody settled the hell down and just,
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the only glitch we had in the whole thing. Otherwise, they followed my instructions to the letter, and I'm
Yeah.
very
Let me try to
thrilled.
get this on screen here real quick. That is the link to the Steel Wizard Tarot. I spelled it wrong. Hold on. Jesus. I'm trying to do this
Yeah.
field. Steel Wizard. There we go. The
That's a
link that I
beautiful
put
deck.
in the chat is correct. The link that I put in the chat, just go ahead and click on that. If you're here live, if you're watching an archive, there it is. Steel with an E, Wizard. The Steel Wizard Tarot, psychic.cafe/Steel Wizard will take you right over to Amazon. And whenever Pamela is hosting on the show, I always try to see if it's on sale on Amazon. And I'm going over there right now. $34.99 for the kit. So it's not on sale. That's the regular price. But we always like to check because a lot of the times it's on sale. Hey, let me take just a minute because we're on the topic of the decks, right? I got some other fabulous things here I'm going to give you real quick here. Doo-doo. And like Clarity Tarot.
Clarity Tarot. That's a Schiffer Red Feather
There
publication.
you go.
Yeah. Thank you.
There's Deborah's. And by the way, I have all these links saved. Let me grab that and put it in the chat.
Oh,
So
thank
you
you.
guys can go and grab Deborah's deck. And not only that, her newish book just came out, what, November 2024? Decode Tarot.
Decode Tarot came out. Yeah.
I'm putting that link in the chat
Thank
as
you.
well. And I will put it up. Whoops. Let me put it up here.
Thank
So you
you.
guys know Decode Tarot.
Yeah.
And that's the book, folks. That's how you get the book. All
Yay.
righty.
Thank you so much.
So we had to do a little commercial break there, folks, and get all this.
Well,
Yeah, yeah. And while we're on this, real quick, let me let you guys know what's coming up on the network, because uh we didn't have a show on Saturday or Sunday, the beginning of August. So we have all of August shows at psychic.cafe on the website under events. You can see all the upcoming shows with all the links to all the shows. Of course, they're also all listed, obviously, on the main page of the YouTube channel. You can click the notify button. Be sure to click subscribe. Like Pamela was nice enough, because I always forget, so Pamela put in there, like and subscribe for me. But let me tell you some of the upcoming shows here. Remember, we had to cancel the show on Saturday. Michelle couldn't get back to the studio in time. So we moved it to the 13th. So Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, we're going to do Michelle's major versus minor arcana cards show. And same bat time, same bat channel, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. And then on Saturday, more Michelle's Mystic Corner. It's the core cards. She's going to be talking about the core cards on the 16th. And then 1 week from today, on Sunday, August 17th, how to get clients as a psychic, medium, or tarot reader. And then the following Saturday on the 23rd is Michelle's Mystic Corner again. It's Michelle's monthly episode called Crown Chair Saturday. You bring your deck, and it's an interactive where we all are reading for the people that come in and ask questions and things like that. And that's the 23rd. That's Sunday, the 24th. Another free tarot reading request. We're going to talk about how to go from free tarot reading request to paid client. And then there is a fifth Saturday this month. And so there's also a fifth Sunday. We're not going to do a show on Sunday the 31st, but instead we're going to do a show on the fifth Saturday, Saturday the 30th. And it's going to be all about doing business as a psychic or tarot reader. So we always talk about, the ins and outs of doing readings, and like the topic today and different things like that. And we have a lot of great psychic advisors, tarot advisors. But what I've noticed, over 20 years of working with thousands of readers, is that we're really bad at business. And a lot of it has to do with, we don't think of it as a business, and we have all that stuff that comes in also from other people, like, well, it's spiritual, you shouldn't be getting paid for that. But we've talked about that, dead horse in the ground. But when I say business, doing business as a psychic or tarot advisor, there's that advisor word again. The ins and outs. I mean, you might need a website. How are you going to organize? Are you an LLC, sole proprietor, C Corp? Insurance, marketing, social media, all that kind of thing that people don't think about when they want to just throw their shingle out. So we're going to have a whole show on that at the end of the month. And who knows, maybe some really great, people that have been doing this for a long time, like Pamela, maybe even Deb will come back and give us your business expertise, Deb. We would absolutely love that. Let's see. Any other cleaning house things here till and then we'll maybe do some readings here. Oh, of course, the summer sale is going on all summer up till Labor Day, 20% off everything. So if you want to become a member of the guild or enroll in my course, or maybe you don't need a course, you've been a professional for 20 years, you just want to get certified, Like, oh, by the way, I can do that too. I can do this. I can show you Pamela's certified tarot grandmaster, Pamela Steele. When did you get that, Pam? That was just October of
Not too
2024.
long ago. And it was
Yeah.
only because you said, how come you don't have your tarot grandmaster certification? And I
I
went,
know
oh,
you've been a tarot master, certified tarot master through the guild for you. For those who don't know, we have certified tarot reader or tarot advisor, whatever you want on the certificate. We've got certified tarot professional, certified tarot master, and certified tarot grandmaster. Like all the qualifications. As an example, Deborah has all the qualifications for certified tarot grandmaster. Anyway, back to what I was. Let me get back to what I was saying real quick here. So the coupon code is summer 2025. So you can go to book a reading with me or apply for certification or enroll in my course or become a member. And when you go to the payment page, it says coupon code or add coupon. And you just put in summer 2025, it automatically takes 25% off. Now, if you are new to tarot, the best value is enroll in my course because you get the membership and the certification included free. That's right. If you're already a member, go over to the private members group for members only. And I think it's like the second post will have the link for certification. Click that link, put in summer 2025, get 25% off. And I think that's about it. Yeah. So we're going for a little shorter show here, folks, but we're gonna see if we can squeeze in a question or two. You guys ready? You want to do a couple of questions, maybe?
Sure.
I know I wanted Deb to do SR Kish's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because SR had asked, how will romance be for me in August?
Ah,
Yeah. And Pamela, could you do kind of like a general for Water Lily? Water Lily had said, "Do my guides have any messages for me?" So while Deborah is answering SRs, you can pull some cards maybe for Water Lily. Go ahead, Deb.
all right. Well, there's a few ways I could do this. Could do by the week, we could do by the day, we can do the energy for the whole month. And I think what I'm going to do is a Celtic cross in honor of Pamela. I love that so
Awesome
much.
sauce.
I mean, it gives you so much information. I see that you've already met someone that you like, and they're taking their time to uh, move forward. Is this about love, romance? Is that what the question is, or was it just generally for
No, it's romance.
it's romance? Okay,
How
that's what I.
how will romance be for me in August?
Well, what it is that so I do, just for clarity, I do know what you would want the romance to be. I mean, that you would like to have romance in August is what I'm, so that's the inside the four corners of the question, just so everyone knows where I'm at. And I like the way you are positioning yourself because you're not overly available. For him, he doesn't see you as overly available, which is good because he likes to, I don't know, there's a little gameplay here, but I do see messages of love in your environment. Now, the environment means work and home. It's your whole environment. So that is good. But the bottom line is I do believe it's going to be a slow progression. So I would not put all your, I mean, don't stop dating others. Be available for others to ask you out. But as far as because there is someone that's coming in specifically on your Celtic cross, because a king came in right away, um, and that king is on your mind. So I'm reading through that king. But keep dating others. I think he's just slow to come around. He doesn't come on strong, and he's not. And I think that's wise sometimes. People can get too fast, you know, burn hot, burn out. That
Yeah.
So that's what I think August will bring you. So what you can do at the level of action different than what you might thinking about right now. If you want romance in your life, refresh your profile on a dating app. Go have a dinner with someone new instead of waiting for this guy to call. That's what I'll say. I'll bless you and leave you with that, sweetie.
Cool. Go ahead, Pam.
Um,
So
hey,
it
Water Lily. Okay,
was
here we
Water
go.
Lily.
The first card that I pull for you is the Page of Pentacles. Okay. And now, okay, let's see if we can get this up here without, okay, we can, without the light shining too brightly. What this card tells me is that you need, if you're not doing it already, you need more information. There's either a skill or some kind of opportunity that's been presenting itself. And if you haven't jumped at it, if you haven't taken advantage of it, do it. Because what that's going to do for you is it's going to unlock your potential, because right now your potential is all bottled up. Let's say you got the Maiden of Wands reversed, which means, okay, right side up, the Maiden of Wands is this creative, dynamic, and innovative person who comes up with these brilliant ideas and is all about change and improvement and everything else. Now, once you do that, once you finish your studies or whatever it is that you're looking into right now, once you get all that done, then this card here is going to show you where you have not yet developed that potential. And this is vitally important, because without it, you cannot continue. You're just going to keep in that same loop, that same cycle. So go ahead and take a breather. It's kind of like going into Mercury retrograde voluntarily, which is silly, but you can do it. And just take your time, and please be aware that what you're doing is for you and no one else. All right. This is it. This is vitally important. It's for you, because where this brings you to, where this takes you to, is you got an Ace of Cups coming up. All right. Now, the Ace of Cups is all about new beginnings. It could be a new love interest. It could be a new job. It could be something, but it's going to be something you love, because in order for a cup to fill, you got to empty it. And that's kind of what the Maiden of Wands reversed is doing. It's emptying out what no longer serves who you are now. And in your process of becoming, what this is telling me is that it's going to take a while. It might not even be till next spring that you finally pull all this together. But either way, it's really in your best interest to go for it, because just the idea, just the overflowing abundance of authentic emotions that are coming your way are going to guide you in ways that you cannot possibly imagine at this point, because you haven't done the work yet. Do the work. It's there. It's just waiting for you to, well, it's waiting for you on the carousel to grab that brass ring. Okay. So try it. You'll love it.
Awesome. Awesome. So Maria was asking in chat about Philip. And I pulled some cards. This is the ongoing saga. If you guys are new here, you don't know, but if you've been coming to all of our shows, you know the ongoing saga of Maria and Philip, that she finally broke up and is moving out, and she's wondering about new love coming in and all that kind of thing. Before I do I already have the cards drawn for that, but before I do that, are there any more questions in there? And Water Lily says thank you. SR says thank you, Deborah. Um, gosh, I thought there was another question, and I might just be missing it. I know. Oh, Drops of Jupiter wanted a message from the universe. Do you want to do another message from the universe, Pamela?
I sure can.
If you don't mind, pull some cards or a card for Drops of Jupiter. Deb, did you see any more questions in the chat besides Maria? I saw Drops of Jupiter. Pam's going to pull one on that. Oh, Jesse. Could you do a message from the universe for Jesse, Deborah? And while you guys are pulling those cards, I'm going to, and Maria put like in several places here. So I'm trying. Oh my gosh. pull this all together. So you guys know, I often, when this kind of question comes up, I just start laying out cards, and I'm looking for that next person to come in. And I had to put a lot of cards down, Maria. Okay. You need to get things situated. You need to get Philip out. You said he's not even moving out till September. All right. So you got to get your home life situated without Philip, and then focus on attracting in the right person. Eventually things look good because I'm getting the Sun card. I'm getting the Wheel of Fortune. It's turning in your favor, after, God, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 10, 11 to 13, 14 cards later. That's a while. That's 3 to 6 months at least before this is going to happen. But then the King of Cups shows up. So this guy is very mature, especially emotionally. And I know you were asking something about that in your question, Maria, description of the person. This person might be artistic, might be one of the water signs. Guys, what are the water signs again? Pisces?
Scorpio,
Scorpio,
Cancer,
Cancer.
and
I think it's
Scorpio, Cancer, crap.
I'm not an
That's
astrologer. Well, one of those, Maria, it might very well be, and this is going to be a lot. This person is going to be a lot better than Philip. He's emotionally stable. That is the most important. You may already know this person because after all these cards, I laid all those cards out, and I got the person finally comes in, King of Cups. Right next to him, right before he showed up, was the Six of Cups, the nostalgia card. This may be somebody from your past, somebody from your childhood, somebody that you already know. And what else was I going to say real quick? Is okay, a lot of cards. I got the Wheel of Fortune. I already told you that. And Justice coming in with that Philip situation. The Sun card. Yes, you are going to be able to find this person. The Wheel, the World card. You got so many major arcana and really great cards. And the last one I'm going to leave you with is the Magician. Ultimately, when you're ready, you're going to be able to manifest this. So that's what I got for you, Maria. Good luck on that, and good luck. Hopefully, Philip is gone by September. Okay. Pamela, you want to jump in with that one
about the message from the universe. I would
for
love to.
drops? Go ahead.
Yeah, for Jupiter. Well, actually, it was funny because I pulled 3 cards, and then there was this one that just kind of dropped out. And so with this card,
Uh-huh.
this is one that just kind of landed on the. You have to do me first. Okay, fine. Um, this is where your natural. Oh, I don't like the word psychic per se in this situation. Gifts are coming into play. Okay, trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, and build that spiritual muscle, because right now, what you're doing is you're doubting yourself constantly. And all that's doing is shooting you in the foot. Um, Whenever you get an intuitive hit, if you're kind of pushed and panicked and, oh my gosh, I got to do this, it's not a real hit. What that is that's a fear-based reaction from something that you have already lived through. Now, so the message that your message is, it's not authentic. Okay, that's very simple. It is not an authentic emotion that you have been experiencing. What you need to do is go ahead and complete the process, and the process involves transformation. All right, this is when you're in a closed chrysalis state. You have to remain there until the process is finished, and once the process is finished, then you can emerge. Okay, you're not quite done. It's kind of like putting all the ingredients together for a cake. You got your oven on, everything else. You stick it in the oven. You gotta wait more than 10 minutes. It's going to be a gooey mess if you don't. So just give yourself time, okay? There's no timing card in my spread here, but so I'm not going to bother giving you one. But what I am going to tell you is that over winter, I think you're going to start coming into some real profitable situations, okay? Because when you got the Nine of Pentacles is what I'm thinking of as your outcome card here. This tells me that you are doing really great and just fine on your own. Don't complicate your life with unnecessary situations and people, because they're not going to It's just going to distract from what you're trying to do. So get your own house in order, get yourself in order, get your emotional stability in order, because once you enjoy your own company and everything's going great, the rest of it falls into place. And when you get to a point where you think, my life is complete and it's basically seamless, okay, that's when you know probably the person or a person, the other people that are going to fulfill your social circle, let's say, that's when they'll start to show up. Just you want to make sure that they're not there because they're looking for a handout. Okay. So be very careful about that. But yeah, you got this. You do, you do.
Awesome sauce. And Jesse, let's see, Deborah's doing a
Yeah.
general for Jesse. And then Leslie, I wanted to let you know that I've got your cards drawn already. So after Deborah.
Okay. When I do a general or asking about spirit guide information, what I do is I draw one card, and that tells me what, and the suit will tell me what topic they want to address. And so if it's a major card, which happened to you, I know that this is all about ethics, morals, how you, the spirit is asking you to filter all your information through the higher chambers, the spiritual chambers, which means becoming an observer more than a victim. So I thought, well, that's a heavy thing to start out with. So I think I have two of the same cards, decks. So it's my Clarity Tarot deck, and I cut one down to a smaller size. I took it to Kinko's, had them cut them. So because I can use the same images, and wouldn't you know it, the same image came up both times. Give me another topic that I could share. No, the lovers came up both times. So
Oh,
this
wow.
plus so the when I do this, then the next card after that starts the message. It's not the card itself. So the card itself, the first one just tells me what topic. If it's ace, if it's swords, it'll be thinking, or emotions with the cups, blah, blah, blah. So when I did the 5, 6, 7 cards after that, I see in both lineups, you're a very powerful person who really knows what she likes and what she doesn't like. And I love that about you. I really love that about you. The next week, which is what I'm going to just put a time frame around, you will have an opportunity to choose differently. So what I like about you is that you know what you want to say, and sometimes it's unconventional. So, first of all, let me explain. Spirit is saying you are the Queen of Wands. The next one is the reversed Emperor. You go against the grain. You're unique, and I love you for that. And then we've got the Six of Cups reversed, saying that who you are now is so much different than who you were before. You've done a lot of work, girl, a lot of shadow work. And so there you are. But an opportunity for you to choose not the next card, which is the victim card, 10 of Swords. So there's going to be something happening in the world, and it could be as simple as too much news. Sorry, when you get that, oh, we're all going to die kind of stuff. So it's that victimhood thing, which will, on both decks, I also got the reversed Emperor card on the last deck too, which is so cool when that happened. But the actual ending card, if we hadn't had this conversation, so this does not mean it's set in stone. It's just you have an opportunity coming up to choose differently. But if you choose, if you fall into your habit of moving it, because aces are quick, it's 0 to 60, right? And so if you move into that 0 to 60 for whatever's coming up for you, then a couple of things are going to happen. I've got the reverse temperance. You'll lose your grace, your patience, and then I've also got the reverse chariot, which means you'll lose control of your emotions. And I know you don't like that.
Mm.
Man, I don't like that either. I have a problem with losing control of my emotions. And so I've worked on it all my life. And I think that's the message I have for you today is to go ahead. move through this week. And then what's going to happen is that you're going to start getting hot under the collar about something.
Ah,
Something's going to trick you, right? And say, oh, come over here. And you're going to say, oh, that's what Deborah was talking about. All right. So I'm going to move into, instead of being offended by whatever is said or done, I'm going to go ahead and move into the observer and say, isn't this interesting? Isn't this interesting? And that will alleviate, that'll move that chariot to upright. It'll move the temperance to upright. Grace will fill you. Even though it's not your first choice to do that, it's just an opportunity to choose better coming up. And that's the message.
sweet, 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 sweet. Uh, I don't know if we're going to have time to get to these other questions because it's almost the top of the hour. Ellie had a question and Dan had a question. Guys, we might have to get your questions later. I did want to mention, because this is just cool, because what Ellie was asking about is I'm thinking of doing my first psychic fair as a reader with a booth. Wow. Applaud.
Yay!
And she says,
For it.
what do I need to know about how to align with this desired opportunity? So I'm going to read the cards for Leslie, and then, and I love it. See how I said read the card?
Yeah, right, right.
Because on the shows we don't have time to do an interaction where we're actually coaching, so we just read the cards, which is everything I said at the beginning of the show thrown out the door. Anyway, but if either of you, Pam or Deb, come up with something to tell Ellie about doing her first psychic fair after I do Leslie real quick, and then we're going to get out of here. Let's see. I got to find Leslie's question again, because it was back farther. There it is. Will I have an academic advisor position at a large post-secondary institution this year, since I have been working in the same small institution since about 2022? Well, it's looking really good. So the Page of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles are talking about that very thing. Working. Oh, eight of Pentacles, working. Page of Pentacles, education institution. I mean, I love that this came up. And then right after that, Six of Pentacles. Look at all those pentacles. So 6 in numerology is success. And Six of Pentacles is often seen as a oh gosh, now it popped out of my head what they call it when it's an overflow. Oh gosh, I can't believe that popped out of my head. Um, not a watershed. Folks, what do they call it when you have an unexpected um downfall of income? I forget the term. I can't think of it right now. Anyway, you get the idea.
Windfall. Ellie says windfall.
Windfall. God damn it. I tell you, I'm getting old.
Thank you, Ellie.
I cannot remember this shit. Anyway, windfall. It's this card is usually about a windfall, and 6 is success. I really think you're going to be able to move to a larger institution. Now, the exact timing is not super clear. Now, you've been worrying about this. Okay, this 9 of Swords, right? The Moon card comes up, and that's all about things being, a little bit in the shadows there. It's not clear. It's just not clear when, but it looks like it's going to happen. I think it's going to be more when you get in alignment with that actually happening. When you get emotionally, because the other card I got, 2 of Cups. And obviously we're talking about career here. Why did the romance card showed up? A new romance coming in. Well, because tarot's multi-layered. Okay, so this new position that we had here in the beginning, you're going to be more emotionally satisfied with this, but you need to get in emotional alignment with the manifestation. Because what a lot of us, especially I can tell just when anybody asks this question of a tarot advisor, why are they asking that question? Because they're unsure about it and they're hopeful that it's going to happen and they want, us to confirm that. Well, that's actually not in alignment with attracting it in, because you're not in the emotional feeling space of this is what it's going to be like when I'm working at this big, larger institution. Instead, it's a wish right now. It's not an intention. So you need to shift from it being a wish. Got to be nice to move after all these years, 3 years to a large institution where I want to be. No, you got to emotionally already be there. Okay. So what was that? The other one was Ellie. What do you guys have thoughts for Ellie and her? Now I lost it in all the scroll here.
About the,
Reader
yeah,
with the booth at a fair.
yeah. Can I go first? I wrote
Go.
it down. So, Ellie, when you're with a client, it's going to be for a certain amount of time because it's business. Oh, what were you going to say? Oh, that's a nice little thing, Dax. What's that?
The cat doing a reading. It's from Shiro Marchetti. Thing's 20 years old, that bag.
I love that. So what do I want you to just say to the client? You've signed up for 30 minutes. I'm going to set my phone timer to 25 minutes. When it goes off, that will give us an idea. We need to wrap things up, or you can ask to extend. And if I have time, I'll stick with it. But they'll understand that. Again, Dax said it, don't hand them your deck. They want you to have a good understanding of what their question is, so they'll just go on and on and on about that question. And they'll ask you how to shuffle, and then they'll stop shuffling and tell you all about what they want. And I don't blame them for that. I want to be understood. So it's not their fault, but keep your deck to yourself. Also, this is an important one because after a reading, this is the reason why we do this. After the reading, there is going to be so many things you touch that make them feel seen and understood, that they'll want to be friends, or your energy would be so inviting to them. But you have to get on to your next client. And how you get away from that is that you say, I'll bless you and leave you with that. This is the end of our, you can say that. If you're having trouble saying that, stand up. Don't sit. Stand up and say, it has been so nice to meet you. Please sign, give me your email and I'll keep you posted on these things, that type of thing. But you need to stand up, or else you're just going to be run over, over and over and over, and run late and get anxious. So I bless you and leave you with that.
Awesome. That's great advice. Michelle said, great advice. Thank you. And Ellie, let's see, Ellie will probably say something in a second here. Sahani and Sharon came in. You guys came in at the end of the show, though, folks. In fact, we're 5 minutes over. We need to get out of here. But I want to thank Pamela for being here with me, and Deborah from coming over, and I gotta put it up again.
Oh no! Oh
For
my
coming
God!
over from Grow Your Light YouTube channel. Go over there and grow your light.
Grow my light. Yeah, there
Yeah.
we are. Thank you so much, Dax. And Pamela, it's so nice to read with you again. Really appreciate it.
Nice
I
to
hope you'll
see
come
you.
back, Deb.
I will. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody. And remember, special show Wednesday, Michelle's Mystic Corner. That's the postponed Saturday show. So tune in, and it'll be 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Bye, everybody.
See ya. Thank you.